Hi, scholars, and welcome back to Writing with Miss Kitchens. We are now on day 44 of writing. Now, to activate prior knowledge, on day 42 of writing, you were supposed to be practicing how to write your numbers. You are only supposed to do 4 pages of the PDF format pages that I've sent. Hopefully, you were able to do that. I've already seen some of you turning in your work. Awesome job writing those numbers. Okay. Let's move on into our lesson for today. So, before we go into our mini lesson, Miss Kitchens love to go over the student learning outcomes. I, in which is you, will draw stories first to remember exactly who was there, what the person was doing, and the sequence. I will record events in sequence across the pages of a booklet. I will use real-life storytellers, family members, famous storytellers as mentors. I will rehearse stories aloud over and over before drawing and writing the words. These are all of the beautiful things that you will be doing in your writing for today. And this is the Common Core standard. You don't really need to know this, but this is just for your parents to understand what standard we are unpacking today and throughout the unit. So it says, kindergarteners, in which is you, use a combination of drawing, dictating, and writing to narrate a single event or several loosely linked events. Tell about the events in the order in which they occurred and provide a reaction to what happened. Here are the writing materials you will need today. You're going to need your writing paper or your pre-made book, a pencil or some pencils just in case your pencil breaks, some crayons, the narrative writing anchor chart that I will be uploading with this assignment, and your Illustrator rubric checklist that I will also be uploading with this assignment. Here is an anchor chart of what a personal narrative needs to have, okay? So personal narratives. Well, we know that a personal narrative focuses on a small moment from your life, right? Something that happened to you that you was in, right? The story. It actually benefited you and anyone that you were around. You were a part of the story. You are a character, or someone that you've seen experience something is a character. You write it the same way you will tell it to someone. So just like we talk with our friends or our family members about something that happened, we write it just as if we're talking to someone. You start with a catchy lead, right? That's your hook. To get your readers hooked into wanting to read your writing, you need to always make sure that you have a catchy lead. Use details to tell who, what, when, where, and why. Now, these details are very important in our narrative pieces because it helps our readers understand each and every moment that took place in our story. You want to have a beginning, middle, and ending, of course, right? To help guide your writing and to help your readers know when to start, when to really get deep into the story, and when the story is all done. You want to use transition words like first, next, then, and last. Okay? So going into our lesson, like Miss Kitchens was talking about, we need to always make sure that we are writing with our story in mind, right? Our own personal experience. In order for us to do that, we need to always remember that great writers draw and write about specific details, including who was involved, where they were, and what they were doing. Okay? And that's what you'll be doing in your writing also. Here's another anchor chart that just talks about what do narratives need, okay? So we need characters. We need to make sure we have some people who are in there that we're talking about, that we're focusing on in our story. we need to make sure we have a nice little setting, right? Where did it take place? And we also need to make sure that we have our hook, right? Like we talked about, the hook is going to engage our readers into wanting to read our writing. Let's take a look. Now, here is where we're going to get deep into what it means to have a good story when you're talking about a situation, okay? So here is a picture and some words that are in connection telling a story. So let's read the story called On the Playground. Okay? It says, one day I played on the playground. First, I went on the swings. Then I went down the slide. Last, I played hopscotch. I had fun. Now, thinking about who is this person? Well, we can see that it's a little girl, right? By her picture, because she drew her picture in sequence. That means in order. She has it first. This is her picture here of her on the swing. Okay. Then she slid down the slide. And lastly, she played hopscotch. Okay. And when I say played on the swing, that means she was on the playground, right? She played on the playground. She went to the swing. She went to the slide. And then she played hopscotch. And that's what you need to be also doing in your writing, okay? At least one sentence for each transition word, okay? You have your hook, like this here. She says, one day I played on the playground. That's going to hook her readers in because she's saying, this is what I'm going to be talking about. Then she went and using her transition words. First, I went on the swing. That's one sentence. Then I went down the slide. That's two sentences. Last, I played hopscotch. That's three sentences. And I had fun. She had her ending, okay? She has her beginning, her middle, and her ending. I give this 100% for a grade because she did a great job making sure she had her beginning, middle, and ending. Her character was herself. Her picture matches her words. And she also has capital letters and punctuation marks in her writing. Way to go. Here's just another example of writing in sequence and making sure that you are having all of your details within your writing, because that's what we're focusing on today, is making sure that we have much details in our writing to give our readers a great imagination. Because as readers, we like to imagine what the writer is actually talking about in their minds. So that's what you're going to be working hard to do today. You want your readers to be able to imagine exactly what is taking place at that moment in your writing. So here we have another sequence of, it looks like someone is talking about an apple tree, okay? So first, they have some seeds here. Looks like they have a branch, they have some flowers, they have the tree, right? With the apples. And then lastly, they have a nice juicy red apple that they're probably going to have for a snack, right? So it says here, do you know how an apple tree grows? Look how they hook their readers in. They ask the question, right? Well, guess what? I'm about to show you. First, plant apple seeds in the rich soil. Next, the tree branches will grow buds. Then the buds will open and flowers will grow on the branches. After that, the flowers will grow fresh apples. Last, the apples will ripen and be ready to be picked. Now the apple seeds can start all over again, is what I'm guessing they said, because seeds can continuously be used, right? Like recycling. We talked about recycling. We can recycle the seeds that are inside of our apples to build another apple tree. Okay? Here are some questions you should be asking yourself when you are writing about whatever it is that you're writing about. Why should we write the story in order? Well, I know it helps our readers to understand when we are starting our story, when to get really into the story, and when the story is going to end. All right? It helps them to organize the information in their minds. Remember, we want them to be able to gain a picture of what it is that we're writing about when they're reading it. How is that character feeling? That's adding details to your character, expressing their emotions. They were happy because they were able to plant an apple tree, or she was super excited because she was able to go down the slide at the playground. Okay, so you need to make sure whoever you're talking about in your writing as a character, they have some feelings, right? Because as readers, we always want to know how people are feeling in the moment that they are experiencing. How can I be successful in today's writing? Well, when you are writing your stories today, make sure you add lots of details to your story. Be specific, okay? Make sure you're saying that the car or the apple, sorry, not the car, the apple was red and juicy and made the little girl mouth water because she was so hungry, right? Let the reader know exactly what is happening and draw how the characters are feeling. Okay, these are the two things you're focusing on. You're focusing on adding lots of details and adding feelings to your characters. And this is how you will be successful today. I, and which is you, can write specific details about my story. I can write across pages, check for capitalizations and punctuation. Okay? So that's what you need to do today. I hope that you enjoyed today's writing lesson and that you are able to go in and add more details to your writing, being very specific and adding a feeling to your characters, right? Whether they're sad, happy, mad, excited, whatever feeling you want to talk about, definitely put that on into your character, okay? And here's your free write. You have 10 minutes or however many minutes of free write you need. This is your moment. You write about whatever you want to write about. But remember, it's only after you have to, okay? All right, little happy writers. Today we focused on making sure that we learned how to add details into our writing and being very specific about what details we're going to use and seeing how pictures can match the words and having capital letters and punctuation marks within our writing. I will see you tomorrow for day 45 of writing. Happy writing, little writers. Bye.